Hi everyone. So today we're going to learn a bit about how to produce what we call as the racing bar chart or racing bar graph. So this has been around for a while, I think around 2019, but recently we seen it quite frequently over the TV, over many other updated kind of news. Uh, so what we're going to have at the end of this tutorial is something like this. So let me play this. So you're going to get the last 30 days updates of the cases of the COVID-19 cases around the world. So we're going to highlight the top 10 countries which has the most cases. So let's go straight to the code. So let's name this a racing bar chart, right? So we're going to use the same environment. We're going to use Google Collaboratory for the ease of compiling and so on. I already done the code, so I'm going to copy and paste and explain a bit about what the codes are about. So first, let's import the main what we call data, or the main library for getting the data. Import pandas as pd. So pandas is the library which you're going to use to get the data, and in this case we're going to get the data directly from the humanitarian data sets. This is the time series COVID-19 confirmed global CSV, and this data is basically has been compiled by John Hopkins University Center for System Science and Engineering. And if you get the data, basically if you click on the data, you're going to get this sets of data. Now first thing you need to understand is understand how the data looks like before you're going to process the data. So you get like the province column, then the country column, latitude, longitude, and the dates. I think it started from 22nd of January up until today. So we need to understand this because we need to pre-process the data for our use. And we realize that at the end, basically the data is updated column by column. So the latest update was on 15th of June, which is yesterday. So this is the URL of the data. We're going to use it in our code. Okay, back to the Google Colab. So we're going to import pandas as pd, and now we're going to read the data straight away. So I'm going to put this as a new set of codes. Okay, so we have here data frame pd.read CSV. We're going to read directly from the data source. Instead of last time, we copy it into a CSV file and we upload it into the working environment, and we play around with the non-updated data. This time we get it straight away from the data source, so we can have the latest data each time we compile the code. And now I'm going to basically get further into the data. We remember that the column name is like updated column by column. So A, I'm going to get the list of df dot columns dot values. What this line of code do, basically you're going to get the column name for each column in the data frame. Then I'm going to get only the latest 30 column name or name. So I'm going to use this tuple command. So what it does is basically going to get the last 30 column names depending on what it has been updated, right? Okay, now basically let's have a counter and try to display the data. Right, so what this code does, basically it has like I have a data frame of the data frame. I sort the values by dates. I have count here 0 and ascending false, and I look into the head of the data, the top 10 basically in the list. So is there anything left? So let's try to compile this line by line. Then once done, Alright, so you have all the information. It's in order of US, Russia, United Kingdom, Brazil, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Turkey, and Iran. Right, so this is basically from count 0, means the first or the last 30-day one, the first value in the list. Right. Okay, now you got the data and it's ready to be processed. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. You get the data directly from the data source. Right. So the next lines of codes, here I have like what we call as subplots. So previously we have matplotlib, other visualization tools, but today we're going to learn about subplots. Subplots is basically an extension of, or basically part of matplotlib, which basically you can have like multiple figures in the same plot. So it has output of figure and axis. And in this case, we have like the data frame, and we want to flip the order of the item in the data frame. So I just put this command ::(-1), and I have what we call as the axis bar DFF country region, the name, and the dates count. Right. So let's try to have a look at this. So PLT, I haven't defined the basically library. Okay. Let me just copy all the library we're going to use today and paste it here. So import matplotlib pyplot for the plotting, ticker later on for changes, basically labeling, and matplotlib animation, going to use it to animate. Datetime is where we want to use it to change the time format based on the column name, and displays HTML, we're going to display it here. Right. Okay. Let's rerun this again. Runtime, run all. Right. Okay. Right, so the same things come out here. Alright. Now we produce a bar graph, a horizontal bar graph, which has 10 values, starting from United States, Russia, United Kingdom, Brazil, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Turkey, and Iran. So what we need to do now, basically going to repeat this, but we want to have a dedicated color for each country. So let's say we want to repeat it 30 times for 30 days. Each country have different color, and we want to have the color assigned to a country, basically just one color. So for each iteration, if you don't assign a color directly, it will change the color. It might change the color. So for that, right, see, I have this set of colors I had it earlier, and I put this dictionary. So we have like US, Brazil, Russia, United Kingdom, India, Spain, Italy, Germany, France, Peru, China, Turkey, Belgium, Switzerland, Iran, and Mexico, and assign it to these hex numbers. So we have like hex colors of 004 to 9D, and all these numbers here. So I got it from GKA GitHub IO palettes. So you can get it from many other places, something like, for example, Color Brewer and many more. So in this case, I get it here and try to mix and match the location, not in order, so you can see the changes later on. Right, so here I have like 16 countries. You might need more if the changes are more frequent in this top 10. So I have it 16 because I do think that the changes might come from the top 16 only into this top 10. Later on, maybe you need to add more in this list, right? So these are the colors that we're going to use, and let's start making a function. Here we basically try to display it straight away without any function, but right now we want to iterate again and again. Let's have a function. which we can use it and we can reiterate it again and again, right? Copy it here. Okay. Alright, so again, we're going to have a figure with size 1510. Here we have a new function called draw bar chart, and the input is date. So dates, we're going to get it from the dates we have here. Right, so this is the main input for that. The last 30 days data, right? And we're going to draw a bar chart, and we're going to have ascending through dot tail 10. So previously I show you the code of ascending equal to false dot head 10. This is similar, it's just the other way of programming it. So the access bars, the FF data frame, the country name, the date, and the colors from this color frame that we got here, and from this color dictionary you got here, and we have max 200 here. Now we need to iterate a few times. Let me just have it here. Right, so for I value country in enumerate zip data frame date and the data frame of country region. So we're going to reiterate and have the value of each bar update with the country name and the value, and we're going to have it again and reiterate it again and again. Okay, so here basically going to iterate from up here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 based on these 4 values, right? And you're going to get the name and the list there and the numbers. Let me just show you from the completed one. So this is the name and this is the numbers which are going to display based on this 4. Alright, now we need to sort of polish the design, or yeah, we can say it, polish the design. So first, remember that the date format that we got here, I'm going to have the date change to a new format. The column name we have in format of month slash day slash year. If you look back here, the data, month slash day slash year. But the normal one that we want to see or look at in the animation, we have day, month, and the year in a format like this, right? Okay, so it will be look a bit nicer, and that's where we use the date time library. Okay, now we're going to repolish it a bit more and give some values or labeling there, right? Okay, so the first line I just added here, basically you're going to get the new current date and we're going to reiterate it over there, and cases in thousands are the title of this graph, and here are some other functions of the axis. Here I put coronavirus cases recorded from April 2020 to June 2020, but now I want to update it to the last 30 days for the last 30 days, right? Coronavirus, COVID-19, and right, so some element at the bottom for credits. Okay, and let's try to call this draw bar chart. Instead of putting the date based on the dates list, I'm going to straight away see how it works if I put a date here. Right. Okay, hope this works. Draw bar chart. Right. Okay, I think I haven't compiled this. And run this one next. Okay, now we have our graph, bar graph here with the color that we assign at the top. So we have Germany, France, Peru, Italy, Spain, United Kingdom, India, Russia, Brazil, and US on the 14th June 2020. Cases are in thousands, and the title is Coronavirus COVID-19 cases recorded for the last 30 days. And we have all the access label and some credits at the bottom, right? Okay, next, once we have the functions ready, we now can reiterate or iterate it again and again and produce an animation from it. So let's animation, let's put here a title animation, and I put code at the bottom. So to code or to change this into animation is quite straightforward. So I have again use the subplot figure AX axis plot subplots. We have animator equal to animation function animation, and the input is basically the figure that we create. The function that we going to reiterate frames, which is the number of frames, which will be the input. All this data value will be the input of this function here. So we have like input of tuple of dates, the last 30 days, and it will be reiterate from 1 to the end into this function. I have like interval 600 milliseconds, and then this HTML going to display it. Let's try to display it now. Right, is anything coming out? Alright, so this one you might have to click it a few times and maybe rerun everything again, and it's supposed to be down at the bottom of these codes. Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, I didn't get the output here. Hopefully you guys get the output. Okay, it's there. Right, maybe you need to scroll it a bit. Now you have the data quite nicely displayed here. Coronavirus COVID-19 cases recorded for the last 30 days and all this data, and you have this control button and you can play it. Right. Right, so you got all the data for the last 30 days up until 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, until 15th of June. And the resin bar chart is basically we want to use it to highlight the fast changing kind of values. It can be in this case coronavirus cases between countries, and many others. Maybe you can use it for Olympic data and many more, right? And you have it there. So this is just another figure being plotted by the collab environment. Alright, so you have the data here, or you have the graph, but can you copy it and save it? So remember that we have figure being saved before in the previous tutorial. Today we're going to save the animation. So we're going to call writer, in this case animation writer, and here writer animation.writers ffmpeg format. I got like FPS of 15 seconds, and just put any artist name there with the bitrate 1800, and I name it as lines.mp4 writer equal to writer. Since the one at the top have been running, you have run that, so I just need to push this again or run these codes. Okay, there you go. Right, so it's completed the process. So let's look at our folder. So remember that we have a working folder here. You have, like, if you go up there again, one bin boot, you got content there and lines m.mp4. so this is the file you need to download, or this is file which you have created. Now you got the lines and you can play it, and you can post it anywhere that you want, which is the latest information or the latest graph available from the latest data. Alright, that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you very much, everyone.